how and why does Freaky Nikki move backwards? Well, Curry Barker clearly used reverse photography with actress Indy Navarrete to achieve a common horror cinema visual motif, and it works quite well on its own as a creepy visual to show something is off about Freaky Nikki. But it's also a somewhat supernatural flair for a character who is not demonically possessed, according to the director, but is rather just a newly created persona of pure obsession by Bear's wish. Well, if you look closely at the backwards movement, it isn't just Indy walking normally, then reversed. It's actually Indy taking extra wide, very weird steps forward, and then that movement being reversed. That's why I really like this interpretation that the backwards movement is actually a physical struggle between Freaky Nikki and real Nikki for control over this one body. Real Nikki is trying to rush toward Bear to kill him in these moments, while Freaky Nikki is more powerfully restraining the body backwards and winning that struggle, resulting in this unnatural backwards movement. And I would love that if that's true, because it would mean that every time you see Freaky Nikki move this way throughout the film, it's not just like a scary visual, it's a representation of the deeper true theme of this movie. Not just a story about toxic obsession, but a story about body autonomy. 4. Why is Freaky Nikki obsessed with the dead cat? Well, Freaky Nikki's obsession with Sandy has been interpreted by some theories as evidence that Sandy the cat could have reincarnated as the Freaky Nikki persona. I love this theory and all the evidence for it, like that shining reflection in Freaky Nikki's eyes like a cat, the way she waits by the door all day long, the way she keeps digging up the dead cat's body, the way she's obsessed with Bear's smell, and that creepy tiptoe way of walking. I also just love any fan theory that reincarnates a dead character as a cat, like the cat in The Sopranos who looks at the picture of Christopher Moltisanti. If you know, you know. However, Curry Barker has clearly stated that obsession is not a possession story. Freaky Nikki is a persona created by Bear's wish. So I think a more accurate read of Freaky Nikki's obsession with Sandy is that Freaky Nikki just sees the dead cat as something Bear loved and took care of, so she's kind of behaviorally recreating the cat as a way to try to make Bear love her. And because she's this weird, grotesque shadow of a human being, she just gets it horribly wrong.